Hey guys, it's Eric here. We're going to do some little show and tell, getting ready for baseball season. Hope you're all excited for that. So I want to show you my equipment. I've had a number of people have asked me kind of how I do things. I do have a multiple camera angles set up. I have, I try to get some good camera angles, and one behind the plate and one by first base. And I'm hoping to get one to be from the outfield, from center field over the plate. And then I'm also considering doing a view directly of the batter and the pitcher. So trying to have good multiple camera angles, and so people want to know how I'm doing it, I'm going to show you. So I'm going to do a little overhead cam now. Let me cut to that really quick. So this is essentially my some of my equipment that you see here. So I have a keyboard, and this keyboard is connected to my box that stores all my stuff. Has a mouse built into it, and so I like that. Obviously the Pocket Radar Smart Coach that is needed for velocity, and I really like it. And then I have this device here, and this is called a Stream Deck, and this is what allows me to make cuts on my cameras using my switcher. So if I want to go back to camera 1, I can click here to camera 1, or I can go back to my overhead cam, and then I've got another camera here we'll show in just a second. But that allows me to make some of those changes really easily. And then I have, so here's something I'm going to be playing with, is a Raspberry Pi and a camera. This is what I'm hoping to put in the outfield. But instead of using this device, I'm thinking I'm going to be using this device right here just for simplicity. This is a Raspberry Pi Zero. And I think that'll work well. Then I have, for the outfield, I have these two devices here. This is the transmitter here, and this is the receiver. So these are HDMI goes in the back. There's battery pack for power, and that will then allow transmission of an HDMI signal. And I have purchased these antenna that will allow it to have a long range, and I've gotten, with these antennas, I've gotten about 1,000 feet of range, so it should be enough. And I also like really good audio during my games, and so I have a Movo, is what it's called. This is a Movo microphone. It's got a 3.5 millimeter input, and I mount that and I point that right at the umpire. That gives me the good popping sound from the catcher's glove, and then I can also hear the umpire well. I also use the Wireless Go, the Rode Wireless Go 2 system. I'm using one of the microphones right now for this recording. And I put this one on the first base side, and I put the other one on the third base side, and that gives me good surround sound, which actually sounds really, really good. I really like how well it sounds. And then this is a device that I use called a Cabley. This is a by Singular, and it essentially organizes my cable so that I can quickly, for my 3.5 millimeter cable, just quickly wind it up, or I can unwind it if I need more. And that helps it go really quick at the field. So that's essentially the gear that I use. Oh, and I forgot, hey, my jackery. This is how I power everything. So I've got a big jackery, and I plug that all into the jackery. So let's go ahead and show you the device, essentially how I get this to all work. I have to use a switching device to be able to get it to work. And so I'm going to cut now to my camera. And this is essentially running this is my cell phone, and I'm going to show you the inside of my box. So essentially this right here is the ATEM mini switcher, and there are 8 camera inputs, and I can, if I wanted to, I could use this to make the cuts, but I use the Stream Deck to make those cuts. And I just actually have this thing, I close it entirely off at the game. So this is not even open during games. I also have an encoder, which I use to send my signal, my HDMI transmission via an SRT protocol, which is a more stable protocol, and that allows for the usage of the encoder, the HEVC encoder, and that's a higher compression codec, so that it uses the same quality essentially for half the price of data. So that's nice. I have a Raspberry Pi, which allows me to do highlight videos. As the kids are walking up, I can use that to do, that plays my highlight videos. I then have a computer, which I don't necessarily need. I don't necessarily use it, but I have it just in case I need it. And then I have a router, and this router, this one right here, connects to the back of my my box that allows me to have an internet connection in the event that the venue that I'm at has wired internet. If they don't have wired internet, then I'll use the wireless internet on a hotspot. This will connect to my wireless hotspot. I also have a hard drive to record the games to. And, oh, and by the way, this switcher right here also does the streaming. So it records and streams simultaneously, which is nice. So I have a backup recording. And then behind this, you can't see it, but back there is another 4-port switcher. And that's a USB-C switcher, powered by USB-C, I should say. And so this just gives me more Ethernet jacks. And then in the back, if you can see them, all the way in the back there, those are all the power cables, and I have them zip tied down so that they don't come disconnected. Okay, so that's that. Now let me go to the back side of it, right, and show you what we're seeing here. So this is my headphone out, microphone 1 in, microphone 2, and then we've got camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then 7 and 8, I use these for my computer so that I could have a dual output display from my computer. And then here is the multi-view, and so this goes to my monitor, which is up here, right? That's my monitor, and this allows me to see all the different camera angles. So this is my GoPro camera, here's my overhead camera, and then here is my cell phone camera. And then my desktop 1, desktop 2, these are 2 monitors of my desktop. So that allows me to keep track of what's going on during the game. This is just a really simple, thin monitor that I bought on Amazon, powered by USB-C, HDMI output. So that's that HDMI connection to that monitor. And then this HDMI connection goes to my GoPro. And then I've got 2 USB jacks here, one that goes to a Raspberry Pi, the other one goes to my desktop computer that's on there. And then I've got an Ethernet jack here. That is where the internet comes into, that connects to my router. And then I also have a Raspberry Pi right here that runs the software for my Stream Deck. And then obviously I've got more power outlets here in the back that I can use. And then this is the cable right here, the power cable that plugs into my Jackery. So essentially that is the box itself right there. I'm not a huge fan of this specific box. I would have bought one with wheels. I think that's a mistake. I should have got one with wheels. But I'm really, really happy with the concept of showing up at the game with a box, dropping the box down, and then being able to plug in the power cable and go from there. So it's a really nice setup. I'm really happy with it. And anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. There's a lot of fun things that I can do with that. But have a great day.